Good afternoon, beautiful people. So it is Monday afternoon. So this morning I headed out, jumped on the bike, pedalled out, very gentle 10 miles, but those 10 miles were absolutely worth their weight in gold. I often say miles are my meditation, and it is really wonderful to be back out on a bike again. Some of you that know me, that have been following me for some time, will know that last March I took quite a tumble, and it wasn't till December of last year was I feeling really comfortable in jumping back on a bike, and I'd really kind of missed that. But what I really wanted to share with you today is an invitation to just take a moment and kind of look where you are, look how you're engaging with the world around you. You will find in the description of the video a few videos that have been sent to me over the last several days, that if you kind of join these videos up, you'll start to see a deeper aspect to what is unraveling and what is unfolding. Okay, and I really invite you all to take a look very gently, very slowly, take a look and gently explore those videos. Now, I am nowhere near an expert with what is happening. However, I have felt the stirrings of this for some time. I've shared that within my podcast. I've shared that within previous videos. It's really kind of essential and required that we be tender with ourselves, that we nourish ourselves and nurture ourselves. And you know, the innate has, you know, this real sense of wanting just to blanket us, and you know, kind of they are leaning in very, very strongly, because so much of what we are seeing, we are feeling. Okay, so much of what you're seeing, you are feeling. Shattering of that separation that we sometimes see or feel in global events. All right, there's like this shattering that is happening within that sense of separation. So what is stirring is a wider sense of family. You know, there is a real emotional charge here, really emotional charge. You know, we are seeing things that we maybe, you know, all of us in the past have seen things happen, you know, so far from home, and there's like this disconnection to it. This has a completely different feel to it all, which is why I really want to invite you and encourage you to explore the videos there within the description. All of them, including myself, you know, don't claim to be, you know, experts within what we are sharing, but what we are sharing is from a place of deep listening. Okay, coming at it from a place of deep listening, and it will join up, I think, the wider picture. You know, I shared on my Instagram post the other day, there is so much going on here that is unseen. Okay, what's happening is there are people that are beginning to kind of piece together that information, and if it resonates with you, please do share it. Right, share those videos within the description. If it resonates with you and it's like, yes, you know, please do share them. I think it's really important that we kind of throw a light of illumination on all of what is happening here. I think it's really important. The other thing is to really be tender with yourselves. You know, however you can, I would encourage you, if it to be walk, run, cycle, or even going and sitting in nature, just allowing yourself to kind of come back to self, allowing yourself to reset which is really, really important. The thing is, we have all lived through a huge global collective experience that for so many people is elevated their sense of fight or flight. You know, it's driven this heightened anxiety. And I always felt, you know, you'd hear me say it in previous videos and in my podcast, I'd always felt that there was this potential for something like this sparking when the global situation that we've just lived through was reframed or repositioned. That this was potentially going to spark, and did it? It did. Out within nature in whatever way or capacity you can, just allows, you know, there's a science to it, you know, forest bathing, you know, it allows a release of all those good chemicals there within the brain, and just kind of allows you to come back to a sense of self. Then within a sense of self, within a calm heart, you can then, you know, really take care of you, and then take care of those around you, and take care of the wider world around you as well. You know, those of you that are listening, you know, many of you, many of you, if not all of you, at some level are leaders, and I think, you know, it's that whole thing of, you know, we were born into these times not to fear them but to shape them. And when you watch and explore those other videos, you can see, you know, how we can, you know, really illuminate the world around us. And my podcast that is coming out this week, it'll be out Thursday, around about Thursday. There wasn't a podcast last week, it was half term, and then this situation kind of took hold, and I just wanted to kind of just listen, digest, integrate what was moving before I kind of stepped forwards with a podcast. I really wanted to listen very deeply to what I was feeling and what was leaning in. The other thing is, don't ever underestimate your prayers. And your prayers, okay, your prayers come in so many different ways. Actually, you know, they come in 1,001 ways. This morning I woke up, and before I jumped on the bike and pedalled out, and I was sitting there just kind of like gently looking at my admin for the day, looking at my consultations, looking at where I'm gonna land today with what I'm doing, and there within my social media feed, this beautiful post popped up from a dear friend of mine, and she'd photographed, I mean, an early morning walk. She'd photographed this really beautiful body of water, and there behind it was these hills, and everything was so still. It was really serene, and her words simply to the post was, everything is calm and peaceful today, along those lines. I looked at that and thought, how beautiful, because you could really feel, this is what I'm saying, right, is there's something in us cracked open with what we're seeing, and I could really feel that landscape, and you could feel the serenity, and you could feel the peace and tranquility. And she put along those lines, the words of such along those lines, and it was like I sat there and looked at it, and I come away and I could feel this kind of energy around me, as if it was my guides leaning in. They said, that was a prayer. That image was a powerful intention. And knowing the person as well as I know them, I don't believe that was just an unconscious act. I believe it was a conscious act to kind of drop that in to their social media feed this morning. It was like an intention, it was like a prayer. So prayers come in 1001 ways. Wouldn't that be beautiful if we kind of, all of us were out and about on Monday mornings and we dropped these most incredible, beautiful, serene images into our timelines and started flooding social media with prayers, visual prayers. How beautiful would that be, with an intention behind them? Some of which we're going to stir up thoughts within the coming podcast. As I say, you know, no words, just prayers, and prayers come in so many different shapes and forms and ways. And also we're going to kind of be looking at some of the stories that are dropping into my world. You know, it brings it home. But as I say, be tender with self, nourish, nurture, and as always,